Hello everyone, welcome to the 120 drill class. We're going to start out with some basic briefs from the 120 sheet. All right, so we're going to cover excuse me, SK long UM, scume. For identification, FOID, foid. For instance, FRINS. Newspaper, N long UP, noop. On or about, OERB. Other than, AON. So, which makes sense. Other is AO, and then you're adding the N, AON, other than. All right, so let's go over those in a drill. Ready? Excuse me. For identification. For instance, newspaper, on or about, other than. Newspaper. Excuse me. Other than. For instance, for identification, on or about, newspaper, other than, excuse me, for instance, for identification, on or about. Okay, moving right into consonant compounds. This is going to emphasize the initial KL, initial PL, final RNT, final PD. Okay, here we go. The clock belongs to the clerk. Her closet door was closed. She clutched her clothes. We used the Kleenex to clean up. The clatter came from our classroom. Clyde's claim was clearly stated. Greg's plastic plates were on the placemats. Did you plan for plenty of food? The plot of plants was plowed under. She plugged the hole with the plunger. Did you see the play at the plaza? Where did you place the pleading paper? It is apparent your parent is present. Her errant son has returned. Will is a tyrant. Joe popped the top and capped the bottle. She mopped and sopped up the water. We supped and then we napped. Wayne ripped out the coupon and clipped it onto the refrigerator. And then down here it has a note. Supped, S-U-P-P-E-D, is slang for ate. All right. I have some sentences that use sentences that are using the semicolon and the comma. Okay, here we go. The dates are as follows. Friday, April 11, Saturday, June 30, and Sunday, July 5th. The storage company lost several pieces of furniture, namely the living room end tables, the television, and a dining room chair. Dr. O'Brien's report did not mention any of her symptoms. That is to say, shortness of breath, dizziness, and lower back pain. The rings were in the case, and the case was locked, and no one, not even Mr. Blanchard, knows how they were stolen. Please date the checks May 5, 2008, May 6, 2008, and May 7, 2008. Nancy's previous addresses include the following: 115 North Briarcrest Lane, Hampton, Virginia, 7721 Elm Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and 6890 Forest Avenue, Boise, Idaho. The security guard locks the main doors each night. However, the building was entered through a side entrance that was left unlocked. My cousin's surgery was successful. He was up and on his feet the next day. We inspected the refrigerator and found only soda, juice, and beer. Alice is a secretary. Marcia is a registered nurse. My itinerary includes stopovers in Paris, France, London, England, and Madrid, Spain. Emily will be in New York City on July 18. However, her schedule will not permit her to meet with you. All right. I have some medial Y words. I'm going to give you the words and then read the sentences. Curious, dubious, serious, silliest, prettiest, craziest, luckier, merrier, furrier, cereal, onion, stadium, aerial, helium, union, crazier, sillier, busier, happiest, busiest, easiest, radius, genius, insidious. And here are your sentences. He made a serious appeal. The scheme was ingenious. The furrier showed me the prettiest mink coat. The job is tedious. The scenery was glorious. They used helium in the device. The stadium was packed for the game. The second act was hilarious. Have you joined the union? Monday is always the busiest day. She is happiest curled up by the fire. He has many friends because he is gregarious. I am curious about how it works. Did you use onions in the sauce? The bunion on my right foot needs to be treated. This is the easiest test I have taken. That is a sillier suggestion than the other one. I really think he is a genius. The virus is insidious. What is the radius of the pool? The Halloween mask was hideous. It is of dubious authenticity. His nefarious activities brought trouble. All right. Moving right into some legal briefs. Okay, so we've got some legal briefs. We're going to cover injure, injury, and jury. Okay, so my book has injure as J-U-R, injury as J-I-R, and jury J-E-R. I was taught to write jury as J-U-R, so I can't change that now. I've tried to, but it just doesn't work. So I really recommend that you do what the book says here, because you will have a brief for, all three of these words. I have to write, I write injure as J-I-R, jury as J-U-R, and injury, I write it out in and then come back for J long E, N-G. So, I like this because it's 3 different ways to write these briefs, and then you don't have to write it out. So again, injure, J-U-R, injury, J-I-R, jury is J-E-R, okay? So let me give you the sentences. Here we go. A rough job like that would be likely to injure him. So injure, J-U-R. He will injure Ray if he keeps on that way. She did injure her foot at the time of the fall. Lack of practice will injure your progress. The old program injures progress. Robert injured himself when he fell. They were both injured in the accident. Aren't you afraid of injuring yourself? Now, moving on to injury, J-I-R. She had an injury to her legs. The injury was minor. He had massive injuries. The doctor examined her injuries. Okay, moving on to jury, J-E-R. The jury was sworn in at 9:30 a.m. Some members of the jury took notes. The last question and answer was read to the jury. Both juries found for the plaintiff. All right. So it looks like our time's up. So that concludes our drill for the 120 class. Have a great day.